Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Super Subs Podcast, hosted by Rish and Narv, the podcast where two bros talk all things footy, drop takes hotter than a manager's seat after a five-game slump, and discuss who deserves our prestigious award of Super Sub of the Week. So lace up your boots as we'll get underway. Narv, take it away. Who's your Super Sub this week?
Mine, I'll have to go with just because it was a great weekend overall for United. I'll just keep the United train going. Kind of lose the concept on this a little bit, and I'll just have to say Mateus Cunha. Got his confidence up with an assist. Should have had a second assist. I don't know what VAR saw saying that was offsides, but um, yeah,
Yeah,
Cunha. I think having the lead just didn't have to play with that pressure. Grabbed an assist.
yeah, that second one was iffy. It was like by a stud, not even.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know what VAR was seeing there. Can I
For
guess yours? I think I
I
know.
was I was gonna go with the obvious one, but I'm going with a pretty rogue one from this morning. But yeah, go ahead. Who
Oh,
would you have guessed?
I was about to sing some lyrics from the Slim Shady. I thought you were gonna go.
Yeah, he would have been like my obvious choice, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Garnacho.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on that game, but keeping us in the EFL Cup, or I guess it used to be the Carabao, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I'm going from this morning. I was watching some Bundesliga. There wasn't really much on. Um,
That's when you know you're down bad.
so watching that while the Villa game was on the side, and one guy that kind of impressed me was this youngster for Freiburg, Suzuki. Freiburg were down 2-0 pretty early on in the second half. Osberg got two quick goals, and um, they definitely looked like they were going to run away with it. But the Freiburg's manager, he made a triple sub. He uses, I think, all five subs to his disposal, but I thought the one that really stood out for me was Suzuki. Just the way he was, uh, just some fresh legs, I think, but also he was a very attack-minded type winger slash midfielder. Ended up getting on the score sheet too, but I just thought he was kind of added to the energy for Freiburg, and they ended up coming back and tying the game 2-2. They probably should have gone on to win that game actually, but got a
Nice.
point.
It's a rogue shout.
Yeah.
Um, While we also keep the theme of rogue shouts, I know we'll dive into the games, but one, if he was on the winning side or if they ended up drawing, I would have kind of gone for would be Shaquille Van Persie. Came in as a sub and he got two outrageous goals. He got like a back heel and then a bike.
Oh, is he at Feyenoord
Yeah, his
still?
dad coaches.
Oh, nice. Um, but yeah, with that, I guess we'll go into just some games and then talk about some transfers that have happened, some rumors, and just some news around the world too. There's been another sacking since our last podcast, a big one. So we'll talk about that as well.
Oh, I don't think I followed that one.
So you did. We'll talk about it. Um, do you want to start with the midweek game real quick? Just get that one out the way.
Yeah, I'll let you kind of summarize that. I know it's your boys.
Yeah, so we're still in the Carabao Cup,
I
and
didn't
we
even know it
play.
was a two-legged. I always thought it was just a mo winner moves on.
Yeah, I think you're probably confusing with like the FA Cup, but
Gotcha.
yeah, we lost to Arsenal. It kind of felt like a win for some reason, but I wasn't really expecting much going into this game. Just the form we've been in has been kind of poor. New manager, and we are just missing a ton of players, but we ended up losing only 3-2. And honestly, I thought we were going toe to toe with them. I honestly think we were actually the better side. Uh, and we were doing this without Cole Palmer, Reece James, Malo Gusto, and then Jamie Gittins, I would have seen coming off the bench. He was out ill, and then Liam Delap was also sick. So I mean, we were missing some really big names. So we
They
were
all
kind of
washed their hands.
light there. um, so given that, I was not expecting much, but uh, To start the game, Arsenal were definitely in control as
And they put
expected.
out their full strongest lineup.
Yeah, strongest lineup. Um, they were definitely in control to start the game, and I mean the goals we conceded were pretty poor. Robert Sanchez had a howler on the corner kick.
Howlers.
It was really bad. And then the second goal too, it's like a shot cross that he kind of just should have grabbed, slipped through his fingers.
That was worse than the first.
Yeah, I think so. So two errors, but uh, that man you were talking about, Garnacho, came on, added some life to us. First goal was taken really nicely, composed finish, really good strike. And then the second one also, I mean, not an easy chance, kind of a half volley.
Hmm.
So I was kind of happy with the result, only being down 3-2. Definitely doable to come back. But also, we were thin in terms of depth, and we still looked really good. I thought we were the more dominant team.
Yeah, Steve-O had a really good game.
Hmm.
I think once Garnacho came in that second half, Steve-O kind of got to play that basically Cole Palmer role, kind of like running a bit more centrally. And I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen Timber really out of his depth. Like Estevao was just cooking Timber all game, and like every time he got the ball, you could see Timber was kind of nervous,
Mm.
to kind of go face to face with Estevao.
Yeah. Uh, I think Timber, even we'll go into it later this weekend game, but he looked a little off of it. I feel like going forward, Calafiori's been looking like the better option going forward for
Hmm.
Arsenal.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Ben White, he's kind of come onto the team due to Calafiori, but he looked
Benny
pretty.
Blanks.
He looked good. And even against Nottingham, I thought he was solid over the weekend. But the one thing to Estevao's point, I mean, it will come with just aging and experience, but he kind of like Madueke, where he gets in good spots, but his final product's kind of poor, and he's very selfish, is the one thing. Guys are he should be releasing it much quicker, but it's just his decision making is pretty poor.
Yeah, that will come with time, especially coming from the Brazilian league where it's a bit easier. Not trying to
Mhm.
downplay it, but I mean he's kind of like the main guy there versus now he kind of needs to know he has help around him. So
Yeah, which like makes what Lamin's doing even more impressive because he's basically the same age, but like Lamine, I think Estevao is as good as Lamine in terms of like dribbling and his skills. Uh,
mhm.
but you can see like Lamine's IQ is
Yeah, more
incredibly
maturity
high,
there. Yeah.
which
Um,
is he seems like he's been playing for ages, but he's like the
mhm.
same age.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a um it is kind of a frustrating result, I feel like, for Chelsea fans. I know you said you're pretty happy with it just because you guys have a good chance, but like if you just took away those howlers, you guys would have
Hmm.
come out with a win. Um,
Yeah, that's
Kind
why
of
I'm not
unfortunate.
like, yeah, the result's disappointing, but like the process to get to that result, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I
So,
think yeah, howlers aside, I think the only one where it's like you can look at your outfielders was that Zubamendi goal was
hmm,
I feel like it's a little poor, a bit lazy defending.
yeah, I have to give it to him though with just that little fake shot got Fafana's ass.
Zubamendi never did this with Real
Um,
Sociedad. Never had
uh,
this in the bag.
yeah, I was kind of surprised, like, oh, I didn't know that he had that in his locker. A nice flick by Gyökeres, but I don't know, something else that I've peeped, and I was kind of telling you about it was
Hmm.
I think Gyökeres hates Saka. It's crazy. Um,
That push.
that push, yeah. So once he scores, he kind of pushed Saka and like just celebrated with Ben White because he was the
Mhm.
one to pass. But there were two times or three times that I saw Gyökeres just getting. He kind of just looks fed up with Saka, because Saka's always trying to do his like trademark like cut and
Mhm.
take the shot himself. And there was one where Gyökeres was wide open for a tap in, and Saka did
Mhm.
his little cut back, and
Yeah.
Gyökeres was pissed.
Mm. Yeah, but that's just part of Saka's game. Um, I don't know, like Jokeris, I know I do give him like a lot of crap, but I think we were kind of talking about this off pod. Like that's not really his game. Like he's kind of more of just loves running down the channels
Hmm.
versus like linking up play. Um, which is why he kind of looks bad. Is like that's just not his game.
Like in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like on the flip side too, I mean, you have Martinelli doing the same exact thing,
Hmm.
like cutting in, and I feel like you just got to whip the ball in, and that's what he was so good at Sporting.
Sporting. Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of Saka, like that's his game and stuff. This season, you know how everyone kind of gets on um, Garnacho, how he's been poor and stuff, but goals and assists, he has 9 already, which is a pretty impressive number in all comps.
For just Chelsea.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
whereas Madueke, he has 3,
Mm.
and Saka, what is Saka at? Give me 1 second. Let me look this up. Because I want to say he's probably on par with Saka.
I forget, did Eze get to play this game? Or was
No,
he
I don't.
still left out
I think he
till
was left out.
11? Yeah, that's so strange. I thought this would have been one of the games where Eze gets kind of starting nod.
Yeah, and Saka has 7.
Mm.
So, I mean, you can say all you want about Garnacho, but um, yeah, that was kind of my main takeaway. So we'll see with the flip side, and then on the other end, Newcastle lost to City, I think 2-0. So
Mm.
I didn't watch that game though.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
And then, do you want to move on to the weekend? I don't think there are any other midweek games to touch on.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll
A
start
lot of
with,
big ones in the
yeah,
weekend.
I think we'll start with, let's start with the Arsenal game.
The boring one out
Just,
the way.
yeah, I mean, league leaders,
Yeah.
they were probably going into it feeling good, given City dropped points. They could have gone 9 points clear in the table, but they ended up just getting a draw. Um, so how do you think they're probably feeling? And just for listeners, the game ended 0-0. Nottingham defended really well. They
Yeah.
just kind of low block Arsenal. I don't remember them really creating a chance.
No, I mean they had possession, but didn't do anything.
The only clear cut was Martinelli, like just missing that
Oh,
post.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Was that a miss hit or it got kind of deflected? I couldn't tell from that shot by Madueke. It looked like a little deflection.
Or Martinelli, I mean, like where he kind of hit
Oh,
it right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just like, I think he hit it pretty straight, but
Mhm.
just off target.
Yeah, that was the only chance I could remember. I don't know. It's a mixed feeling because they were the last to play that day. So I mean, I'm sure they would have seen the City result as well
Mhm.
as, well, Villa played today, but after seeing the City result, I think they didn't have as much pressure. Um, but I feel like against the Nottingham side that's closer to the bottom, I know they got talent, but like being closer to the bottom is, I don't know, it's a mixed feeling. I think it's definitely one you need to get all 3 points from.
But it's not even the fact that they drew for me, but it's the way that they drew. Like it just was, I don't know, every time Arsenal plays, it feels like their players are scared to like make a mistake and lose it. Whereas like past champions, you see guys taking risks and moments of brilliance, and like that's what they were kind of like missing. They're always kind of playing too safe, and it just doesn't make sense against a team like Nottingham. Why you play that
Yeah.
way?
Um, I want to say I'm trying to see when because I know he made like the triple change quite early.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he brought in Trossard in the 46 and then made that triple change of Saka, um, Marino, and Jesus all in the 57th minute. So like it wasn't. It seemed like a game Arteta was, I mean, obviously going to go all 3 points for. So I don't think there's any like we shouldn't be given any excuse to like, oh, they were kind of just playing for a draw because obviously with the subs they were kind of going for
Hmm.
all three.
And on the flip side, I thought Nottingham just pulled it off, like their game plan pretty well, defended
Hmm.
really well. I mean, shout out to Elliot Anderson again, just
Yeah.
all over that midfield. But someone else I want to give a shout out to was Aina out there on the right.
Hmm.
Um, Felt like him defending, he was up and down that pitch and like throwing his body on the line too.
Yeah, I think they've missed his presence because he was injured quite early on in the season, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah.
Um, and then he had that whole, I don't know if you saw his like interview where he had the whole like, was it Love Island or it was like some YouTube channel he was on and basically said like he cheated on a current Premier League player's like girlfriend or something. And then he's like, oh no, I was taking that as a joke or something. Uh,
I
crazy.
completely missed that.
Oh, really? I'll have to send you
Yeah.
the clip. Um, that's a good shout, but another player I also wanted to give shouts out to was Dominguez. I
Mm.
think we saw like once he got subbed how gassed he was, and I thought he put in like a shift for sure, going both ways for Forest as well.
So I mean, I guess now it's 22 games down. They are 7 points clear. Um, I guess how are you feeling as like if you were part of the Arsenal squad right now?
I feel like you can't bottle it at this stage. I,
16 more games to go.
yeah, they still got City again. Um, that'll be a big one. They do they
I
play you
think
guys again in the league?
yeah, and they still got I think they still have Villa left, right?
Nah, they because they lost to Villa and then they beat Villa 4-1.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Um, so I mean, there's still going to be games where they play like the top 10 sides, and then I feel like there might be a game where they drop points again, like Forest. Um,
I think they have y'all next weekend, right?
yeah, manager bounce. So we'll see. I mean, anything can happen still, and like I feel like when you have like what who said it? Thierry Henry, I think said like when you haven't crossed the finish line before and you haven't experienced winning, like you're just more bound to put more pressure and like slip up versus like if you had that experience. So I don't know with this Arsenal, I feel like this is Arsenal side is like they've reinforced a lot of the stuff they were lacking, so they should be
Hmm.
holding on, but you never know. City catches fire and or Villa for that matter. So
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal they added to their coaching staff apparently a the throwing
Bro,
coach. I guess he was the one that used to coach at Liverpool.
he was going crazy on his. They had a whole Twitter comp on him. He was
Did he
throwing
really?
off. He was throwing out the crossbar and volleying it on his own. I was like, "Yo, this guy going crazy."
Uh, um, so I guess we can move on to second place team right here, Man City. They were the first game over the weekend, Manchester Derby. And they dropped points 2-0. And I think y'all, I'll let you take away, but
Carrick ball, baby.
I think you guys completely dominated that game.
Yeah, I don't think the scoreline reflected. It could have easily, if it wasn't for Donnarumma, been like 4-0, 5-0.
Hmm.
Harry Maguire early on had that crossbar from a corner. Um, I will say Dallo got a bit fortunate, only coming away with a yellow, especially with that slow motion.
Hmm.
It's a bit high on who was it, Doku. Um, but aside from that, yeah, to your point, like there were glimpses where we look like prime Barca. I'm not even exaggerating. The tiki takas, I was like, yo, they're crazy. And then
What did you think going into the game with, I know you texted get ready for Haram Ball, but
yeah, because
um,
Carrick, when he managed Middlesbrough, like they were always kind of like one of the lower. They would be the top half finishing in the championship, but always kind of the lower scoring end, but not conceding that much either. And then he got sacked last year for finishing 10th. So I was like, I don't know if Carrick's kind of lost his touch and all that. Um, Especially with City, just the chaos that's happened with Amarin being out and stuff. If players kind of, and we haven't really had a manager bounce in so long, so I was like, oh,
Hmm.
this might be long days. But the way we came out and played, felt like every player had a point to prove. Um, and yeah, just I don't know, all around, I don't think anyone really had a poor game. And with all the like, I think I touched it last episode, all the legends just like having negative comments on like Lissandro saying like, oh, he's about to get bullied, blah blah blah. He put in like a master class. And Buemo, and Ahmad being back from AFCON, that was a big boost.
Hmm.
See the difference when they're put right away into the starting 11. So
I think Maguire too was a huge presence that was missed.
apparently he wasn't fully fit yet. Carrick said he was begging Maguire to rush him back from injury.
Mm. Yeah, you can see how much of a difference he makes, like so much more stable in the back there.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I thought you guys were, I mean, Mainu too playing, like I thought he played really well. There was that one where he fully sent
Semenyo.
Doku or Semenyo, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, oh man. Uh, but
Bruno played
yeah,
crazy captain performance.
some of the passes he was making was just
Mhm.
unreal.
Yeah. I was a little worried when I saw, like, I knew the lineup, what it was going to be, like the formation, pretty much a 4-3-3, but I was a little uh, concerned if Ahmad wouldn't be playing, because I thought it'd be like Sesko lead the line and Buemo out to the right. Um, and I was surprised Sesko didn't even get any playing time. Um, so we'll see with what happens with that.
Yeah, I know Mbuemo got on the score sheet, but I do think he's still, from an attacking standpoint, he's best from kind of like the wing area.
Yeah, I like him from there too. I
Yeah.
know Cunha's had a struggling past few weeks, so I don't know how Ahmad is from the left wing because I know he prefers cutting in also. So we'll see what Carrick kind of goes with going forward.
But I think Carrick just the way he set up y'all
Hmm.
um was brilliant. It's a big word there, but I thought he was a genius with like how like I was kind of surprised with Dorgu starting
Yeah.
like left wing and I was like interesting like maybe they are really going to play Haram ball but like
Mhm.
one player that I think played really poorly for City that I think all due to how Carrick set y'all up was Rodri. Or I guess he goes by Rodrigo now.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
weird.
um, he was giving the ball away a ton and just he couldn't cope with the pressure with I think that's probably why he put Embuemo in the center because like Embuemo dropped deep and like him and Bruno together just swarming Rodri
Yeah.
seemed to like overwhelm him and then Dorgu was really the outlet. Like he is just a pure athlete and can like
Mhm.
run. He flies down the wing, and you could see he was like the outlet a lot of times. So it was like I saw kind of what Carrick was trying to do.
Saw the vision.
Yeah.
Yes, I wonder. It'll be interesting to see if he lines up exactly the same against Arsenal, um, especially with Arsenal having more of the physical center backs. I don't know if he wants to match up Seska with them. It'll be like a
Hmm.
wrestling match all game, or he'll kind of stick to what he had this weekend. So we'll see.
Yeah. The City, their center back. I'd never heard of him. Max
The
Aylen.
youngster,
Yeah, he had a poor game.
yeah, I felt bad.
Kind of like the Kusanov
Yeah, like his debut.
debut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because Diaz is out for a couple weeks, and I guess Vardiel's out for several weeks also. Those are big losses.
Hmm.
And then on the other side, Mateus Nunes, I think, had the flu. So they were missing some key players, but at the same time, I thought we played quite well. That was probably
Yeah.
not even exaggerating, one of the best performances I've seen us put in like a few years, maybe.
I've never seen Old Trafford like that since Sir Alex, like where everyone stayed at the stadium afterwards and was like
Hmm.
clapping the players around and or players away, and then Carrick too. You could see like the passion, with like him fist bumping to the fans.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good feeling. Um, yeah, so City just dropped points and they didn't even really have that many. I think they had one shot on target, which is from that corner. Holland was kept quiet the whole game, and back to your point is Maguire just really nullified him and Martinez. Um,
Yeah, looking at the XGs, City created zero point 0.4. Y'all created over 3.5 XG.
Crazy.
But yeah, to your point, you guys should have had more. Just
Hmm.
complete dominant performance there.
Yeah, Donnarumma crazy saves that game for
You guys
sure.
are sitting top four, I think.
Fifth because Liverpool.
That's right. Yeah, tie against Burnley.
If only Burnley could beat them.
Um, so we can move on to the afternoon game that week. Put your hands up if you won 2-0 also. Um, going into it, I was a little worried just given,
I keep
given that,
forgetting that they're high in the table.
yeah, Brentford's been good this year. We have one win in 9 games in the league, so pretty poor form. So it wasn't going to be easy. And I mean, we started off pretty poor. Brentford were all over us. Um, in the opening 20, like in the 20th minute, Tosin, that man was shaky. Like he got megged by
Was it Sade?
yeah, Sade played through and oh no, it was Igor
Hmm.
that megged him, and then Sade had a like he should have just
Oh, where he
6 yards
crossed.
out.
Yeah, he tried to sweat it.
Yeah, and then Tosin almost slid tackled and like did an own goal. But and honestly, we scored off, I'll be honest, like just a freak goal that I mean, is Liam Rosner's like philosophy is like the high press. He loves the high press, and we worked that to a T. Enzo got a foot in, and João Pedro crazy strike. Um, but I think once we got that goal, we were definitely a little more calm. Uh, but yeah, I thought it was a pretty shaky opening, like 20, 25 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and that was Sade. He kind of went back to his old ways. Had so many chances, just poor finishing from his end. Um, and then Igor, he had a quiet game. I was like, gotta take your Thiago back.
Yeah, and then someone else that like Loki has been or high key has been one of our best players this year is Robert Sanchez. I know midweek he had a couple stinkers, but dude, he made some incredible saves this game.
Hmm.
Um, claiming crosses too, but
Yeah.
just another shout out for him.
Even in the if we go back to the EFL Cup, he kind of kept you guys in because I think it was like 80th minute he had that crucial save. I forget who shot,
Yeah,
but
made up for it.
yeah, yeah. I try to look back at the Delap PK, and you think that was a PK, or I don't think it was like as obvious as it like they seemed made it out to be. I know it was like
Ah,
really poor from Kelleher's, and that kind of caused all of it, but
yeah, I feel like Delap because
sold it too hard, or
he did sell it, but like because when he got a shot off too that
hmm.
Brentford kind of cleared it off. So I don't know. I feel like it was a soft penalty, but I do think they made contact with him. So
Gotcha. Yeah, but that was a big win for you guys. Kind of
yeah,
needed.
we needed it. Yeah, bad. I mean, Brentford's not a easy team.
Mm-mm.
And shout out to Keith Andrews because I didn't really know much about him before the season, but Brentford's a really fun team to watch. He definitely doesn't care too much about like just defensively being sound and stuff, but he's like, we're gonna outscore you no matter what. I like that type of philosophy.
Yeah, just makes it more entertaining for everyone.
Hmm.
So Keith Andrews, next up for Thomas Frank.
Dude,
Yeah, I didn't know much about him either, other than he was like their set piece coach. So
yeah. And then I guess moving on to the game from today, Villa. they were probably feeling good going into Everton or playing Everton today. City losing, Arsenal dropping points, Liverpool dropping points, and Everton uh, has never won at Villa Park in the Premier League. Um, and this was Villa's first home game that they've lost in 11 games
Wow.
since August. So it's a long time coming. So I think Villa was probably feeling good about it, but ended up losing
Bad time to
1-0.
suffer. Bad time to
Yeah.
suffer their first loss at home. Um, yeah, the title race would have been super interesting if Villa had won. Um, I still
And
think they're still like serious contenders for it. Um, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a dagger for them.
and the goal they conceded was so poor. I thought they were the better team throughout, but it just seemed like one of those days type things. Like
Yeah, that poor
Morgan
goalkeeping.
Rogers, yeah, he should have caught that. But I mean, props to Barry. That was a good finish. He still had a lot to do, but poor.
I'm happy he did score though finally because I was a fan of him at Villarreal and we both thought he'd be kind of tearing it up a little bit for Everton.
Yeah.
A slow start to his Everton career.
But I was looking at Villa's bench, like Benduia, he looked gassed, and they had nobody on the bench. And you could see like what they're probably like punching themselves at is letting Daniel Malin go. And then he played today at Roma, first game in his debut, and he scored.
Hmm.
They were definitely missing a player like that.
That's a surprise player that they let go because he would always come off the bench, make impact.
Yeah, I mean, Aston Villa used to be on our podcast regularly as a super sub feature, but I was looking at their bench and there's names that I've never heard.
Yeah, the worst is Harvey Elliott, the way he's getting treated. I know Unai kind of came out and was like, we just don't want to pay his obligation fee or whatever because if you play a certain amount, so that's literally the only reason Harvey Elliott's not playing, and
Hmm.
I feel like he'd be one that's like can change the game or influence the game. So,
Yeah, he did that a lot at Liverpool.
hmm
Um, Talks that he might be coming to the U.S.
that's what
Charlotte.
I saw. Ain't no way that happens at
Yeah,
his age. No way.
but yeah, more. I mean, Morgan Rogers too. He was definitely like trying to make things happen, but you could just see him getting frustrated, and I think Villa were just getting frustrated. Things weren't working out, and just
One of those
misplaced
days.
passes, and yeah.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, they would have been 2 points behind. That would have been huge.
Yeah.
Uh, I think just one more game we'll touch on, right, is the Barca Real Sociedad game.
Yeah. La Liga. Just because this one, La Liga's the table's pretty tight, even though it feels like Real Madrid fans, the way they talk about their season is like they're having a horrendous year, but like the table is so tight still. And Real Sociedad, they're one of those teams that kind of always gives the big teams trouble. So we thought we'd watch this one, and this would be one of the outside the Premier League games that we'd cover.
Yeah, so Barca ended up dropping points here. To your point, Madrid are 1 point back.
Hmm
But I honestly think they were very unlucky today. Just hitting the post twice, crossbar a couple times. Um,
Crazy save a few
oh,
times.
yeah, ridiculous saves. And then a couple, I think 3 goals were called back for offsides. There was one on Lamine that was literally a stud, was
hmm
offside. Um, but did you have any key takeaways? I guess one question is just looking at the
Daniel Olmo. He's goofy.
his. Oh yeah,
Today, he's about to get roasted by Hater Central.
yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Is like, do you think Rafinha they would have won if he was in?
Yeah, I think Rafinha or even Rashford. 'Cause even when Rashford came on, he was kind of making things happen, looking more of a threat. Um, Where was Rafinha? Was he injured this game?
I think
I
so.
guess. Yeah. I mean, with the form he's been on since coming back from injury, I feel like he would have made a difference too. Um, yeah, Danny Olmo's just he's been a bit disappointing since his Barca, since joining Barca, especially with like how much they were pushing for him and like having to pull the levers or whatever to get him. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, Real Sociedad, I felt like they got kind of lucky, but they also, I mean, created some chances themselves. And
that
kind of
strike was crazy. Aricia ball.
that first goal, yeah,
Yeah, that was
good
insane.
finish.
Um, but even after, so after Rashford had scored to get the equalizer, I was like, oh, Barca's about to win this easily. And then literally like 2 minutes later, just chaos in the box and Sociedad score.
Hmm.
But then there was drama again with the red card. I was like, oh, Barca might. But then with the
Yeah.
red card and stuff, is Barca were like Real Sociedad were kind of defending for their lives. Um, so
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to break them down at that point.
Yeah, I didn't really have other kind of takeaways. I mean, Lamine, he's just incredible. Even like playing down the middle too.
Mhm.
Uh, guy, I wouldn't know like just him being so left-footed, loves to cut in. Wasn't sure how he'd be like at a kind of playing through the middle at times, but still looks incredible.
Yeah, there was a might have been the first half where he got fouled and it was like literally three players on him. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it felt like Barcelona at times though they like it's really the Pedri and Lamine show, and I feel like at times it's just like they literally just hand it to Lamine and try to make him create
Hmm.
something out of nothing.
Yeah.
But it's cool seeing João Cancelo back.
Oh yeah. He was kind of a game changer, him, Rashford when they came on, but
Mhm.
Cancelo looked pretty good.
And then that Rooney kid. Uh,
Yeah.
I like that Rooney guy, especially for the fee that he came in for. Crazy cheap. It's like a
How
steal.
much was he?
I think he was like 5 million, something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's good.
Hmm.
Yeah, at the same time there was the AFCON going on too. I was kind of watching that on the
I
side, but
completely blanked about that game. How was that one? I heard there was
it
some
was
drama.
dude. So I think it was yeah, so Senegal got a goal, but then it went to VAR and the ref said no goal because there was like a foul. Kind of like there was a slight push. Um and then Morocco got a penalty. Well, it wasn't a penalty, but then they went to VAR after Brahim Diaz was like begging to the ref.
Hmm.
And he went down pretty soft and he ended up giving the penalty. And Senegal, all their players protested and they left the field. Fans were about to rush the field. That's why I don't know if you watch it back, but
Uh-huh.
you'll see stoppage time of like 25 minutes
Jeez.
because they were trying to get the Senegal players to come back
Uh-huh.
because they all left
Yeah.
in protest. Insane. Never seen anything like it. And then Sadio Mane was the only one that stayed on the field, and thank
Uh-huh.
goodness he did, because if he had left the pitch too, Morocco would have been they would have stopped the game and said Morocco wins because it would have been a walkout basically.
Ah,
And
dang.
then Brahim Diaz got a penalty. Senegal was pissed, and he ended up trying the Panenka and just poor.
Ah. I always, whenever the Panenka doesn't, you like when you don't pull off the Panenka, you just look like a fool.
Yeah, yeah, it looks bad. And that's what happened. And then
Jeez.
Brahim Diaz got pulled, subbed, and he was just like crying on the bench too, like after Senegal scored. Oh yeah, so then later Senegal ended up scoring.
Oh my goodness.
It was a banger too.
Mm.
So timeout. Brahim Diaz, the penalty was like the last kick of the game
Uh-huh.
before extra time. So it wouldn't even gotten extra time if he had finished his penalty. And then in overtime, Senegal scored.
Hmm.
Brahim Diaz, you can just see like just jacket zipped up to his face, and he just like tears.
Ah. Yeah, that boy was definitely going for like during the PK in the VAR checks, he was probably thinking about like his caption for his IG post and
Yeah, it
ah
was bad. I thought he was a left-footed player too, like a dominantly left-footed,
oh I didn't know that.
because he took it with his right foot. I was a little confused.
Mm,
I guess, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're just doing a Panenka, but
dang. Yeah, I'll have to go back to watch these highlights. That's pure chaos.
dude, it was insane. It was very entertaining. Um,
Perfect way to wrap up AFCON. Just, that it's like summarizes the AFCON in one clip right there.
oh yeah. And for Senegal, I don't know if you remember years ago when Aguero tried the Panenka on Mendy,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Mendy that saved it, Panenka.
Jeez.
So, yeah,
Congrats,
insane.
Senegal.
I felt
Wait,
for
so
Morocco.
what do you win by winning the AFCON? Is it one of those like a because I forget UEFA Nations League, like if you win those, don't you get like some incentive or is it just cash? I
Uh,
forget.
I'm not sure. Yeah. But I know, I mean, it's a huge, it's basically like
Hmm.
the Euros there.
Yeah. Don't listen to Jamie Carragher and them boys. AFCON's a big tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Um,
But I mean, Morocco, low key, they're kind of cooking in terms of like, I think there might be some serious team. I don't know about this World Cup, but going into the future, like I was looking more into Morocco.
mhm.
And so the U20s World Cup, they ended up winning the whole thing. They beat Brazil, Italy, Argentina, and all that, like some big names. But they're building a massive stadium, and the country's investing a ton into their um, like federation.
Mhm.
And then the federation's also making every single club in Morocco upgrade facilities and stuff like that. And they have this whole new system with like kind of like La Masia. They have like schools in there and
Oh,
training
wow.
facilities. So I don't know. Morocco's kind of building something.
That's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, their new stadium's supposed to hold like 120K.
Jeez.
Massive. Yeah.
Jeez. That's crazy. Um, I guess before we end our pod, um, you want to touch on transfer rumors and then kind of the games coming up this week?
Yeah. So in terms of transfer rumors, so one guy that we brought up on the pod like months ago was Jeremy Jacquet, um, center back for Rennes, and I was telling you you need to check this kid out because he's incredible. But it sounds like we are very close to signing him. Deal. He wanted to come to Chelsea. It seems like terms have been agreed upon, so kind of waiting for that to happen. But I'm excited. 20 years old, I think. But just his pace is unreal. But his ball playing is really good. I feel a little for Josh Achampong. Just, I think he's as good. Um, so it's going to be hard just with how much depth we have in that position. But thank goodness, I'm tired of seeing Tosin play. So,
You never mentioned the player's name. You just been giving us hints.
oh, Jeremy Jacquet. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's
So,
not a bad fee for like a potential
hmm
for how rated he is.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that'd be a massive signing. But can't Josh Achampong also play like right back? I know center back is his like primary, but
Yeah, he can if he needs to. Yeah.
especially with like Reece James being like injury bound and all that. Um, some other and I'm just going through Fabrizio's tweets and his
hmm
most like one of his most recent one is hilarious. It's he tweeted Brahim Diaz wins Golden Boot as top goal scorer on the AFCON. And it's a picture of him with Stefano, FIFA president, holding the boot and he's like he crying.
Oh, no.
You can see the tears in his eyes.
Oh, no.
But other transfer news I saw was Syria, this one was weird. Noah Lang, who they just signed this year, Napoli,
hmm
going to Gala in Turkey. Um, there was another one, Dro Fernandez. He's an 18-year-old and really high prospect from Barca, and apparently the Barca board and stuff they said were like very shocked. He wanted to move, and so it looks like he's going for the cheap 6 million to PSG.
Ooh.
So PSG, another youngster adding on.
He's actually been getting a lot of playing time too for Barca. So it's
Yeah,
a big
which is
move.
weird. Um, Fulham, they're after Ricardo Pepe,
Ooh, American.
US. Um, Zinchenko went to Ajax. Uh, and I saw that Leeds United are trying to sign Strand Larson from Wolves.
Ooh.
Oh, and then we didn't even
And
touch on the big one.
Margehi
Yeah, for the
going
cheap.
to City, 20 mil. How surprised no other teams have tried to go after him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
I don't know if he just wanted City, so I don't know.
yeah, that's really cheap. That I don't know if you saw that interview with Glasner, was not happy.
Mm-mm.
Um, had some very strong words. So I'm sure he'll finish up the season, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he already said he's not coming back for next season. So that's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he said even if we end the season with me or without me, I don't know,
Oh wow.
but I mean he said he fully respects his squad and he was saying like
Mhm.
he's never seen this type of thing happen at a club in over 30 years that he's been a manager. Like the whole Eze situation, now their captain going to.
Yeah. So I mean, props to Glasner just having to deal like over the summer it was Elise and then Eze in the middle of all of it, and now it Gahey. So those are like three big mega stars you're losing,
Hmm.
and no drop off really. Uh, so we'll have to see. Oh,
Any rumors for you guys?
for us, no, it's gonna be a quiet January apparently. So
Ugarte is still staying.
that I think he's leaving for Turkey.
Oh,
So that's funny. Ugarte was just handing out jackets. I was like, oh, I love this. But he eventually had to come on because Casemiro couldn't last.
Thiago Silva back in Portugal. He got a 1-0 win in his first start, clean sheet for Porto.
Thiago Silva?
Yeah.
I thought he retired.
Yeah, he's
Hmm.
back.
That's crazy.
But real quick, we got to talk about managers. Before we get to the big one, just want to touch on our manager. He's giving me big Arteta vibes in terms of his personality. Dude, the way he like, apparently he wears no gloves because he wants his players at training to hear him clap.
Hmm.
And then he gave a whole lecture on how to wash your hands properly because a few players got the flu. And then the craziest one is every day we play Legos. He went out and bought a ton of Legos because he thinks it's a good way to be creative and a team building exercise.
And his whole quote on the manage, that thing was hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's
And
like
decipher it. I was like, yo, this dude just lost it.
it just gives me big Arteta vibes
He
in
looks
terms of like so like being way out there.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah. He kind of looks like he looks a little like Memphis Depay in disguise.
a little, yeah.
Um,
But he kind of reminds me of Amarin too in terms of the way he deals with the press. Like he's such a good
he's a good
speaker.
talker.
Yeah.
I haven't really listened to his press conferences. But I know you're like you're just mentioning like he seems a little bit goofy, a little wacko.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of need those type of managers sometimes.
Hmm. And then I guess a big one is Xabi Alonso has decided to leave Madrid.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically the way it happened, it sounds like he left because once they lost to Barca in the final, he wanted his players to give kind of a guard of honor, respect, sportsmanship, and Vinny and Mbappe were trying to convince other players not to. And he was kind of like, that's kind of the last straw. Felt like it was disrespectful. So what did you think of like his whole time at Madrid and kind of how everything has
Not enough
unfolded?
time. Not enough time at all. And I feel like there's some clubs where it's a bit spoiled where they need instant success. And coming from going from a Ancelotti to a Xabi Alonso, like he knew it was going to be a different style. I think he started off the season really well. Um, I think the game that kind of changed it was that El Clasico where Vinny was going off after he had benched Vinny the previous game and then brought him off the bench versus Barca in that game. And Vinny had a really good
Hmm.
game, and then he ended up. No, sorry, I'm tripping. Vinny started that game, I think El Clasico, and went
He
off,
did, yeah.
subbed him off, and after that is like,
That's when he had the whole locker room situation, pulled a Paul Pierce.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's when he started losing a little bit of authority, and once you give player power, it's never really good looks, I feel like, and I think he was starting to lose player power, and from what I've heard is like the way he kind of did his training sessions was like he'd do training off the pitch. I mean, on the
Hmm.
pitch, and then off the pitch, he'd always do like a 2 hour video session to like look at opponents and like how to break them down. And apparently, the players like hated that, and so he stopped doing those. Um, so I feel like he just kind of lost authority, and once you lose authority, it's like hard to come back from.
Yeah, but like I kind of get it in the Galactica era with like Ronaldo, Modric, Sergio Ramos, like, but like these groups of players, no one has like proved themselves, like
Mm-mm.
you, you could say Mbappe maybe, but like I don't think they're at the same level as like Ronaldo and all those
Nah,
guys were.
nowhere close. No.
Um, so like I just feel like it's these players are bigger than who they really think they are too.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Xabi Alonso, I feel like once you kind of lose who you are, like he liked to play a certain way formation, he kind of gave that up, and then the whole film was like once you kind of lose, you start giving into the players, you kind of lose that whole respect, and
Yeah. I don't know. Mbappe is like as talented as he is, like I feel like his ego is just a bit cancerous. Like, and I think that clip of like Luis Enrique is like gonna always like just stick around now. When he's like telling Mbappe like you've got probably the most talent of anyone, but like
hmm.
you gotta work for the team and stuff. And like I feel like he's just selfish, and then just having too many selfish players is hard to make. Like him and Vinny.
Yeah.
Like for how much Vinny's dropped off since the Ballon d'Or thing is crazy, and he still kind of thinks he has that power. So, and they lost. I don't know if, yeah, because that loss happened after Xavi Alonso, where they lost to like the second tier team that's like in relegation battle.
Yeah, it's just if you but like you look into the market, right? Who who could come in and kind of like I guess Ancelotti, I guess, has that type of power just given his experience
Hmm.
and like the trophies he's won. Like, do you see any other manager right now that could go into Madrid and like players will kind of respect him, and ownership will kind of give them the power?
I feel like one from the Prem could be Areola from Bournemouth. Especially with him, I feel bad. Like he keeps losing out on players, and I feel like he'll keep on losing players just because of how Bournemouth's kind of built. It's kind of like the
Hmm.
stepping stone, especially under Areola, and he's kind of had that La Liga experience. Um, so I feel like he could be one. But again, it's like Bournemouth to Real Madrid is like insane step.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe Jose could be that type of guy, he has a resume and I feel like he's kind of a no-nonsense manager.
Hmm.
Like he'll put you straight, but the only other guy I can think of is like Jurgen Klopp would be that type of guy.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if you could think of like another big name. Like I don't think Ancelotti is realistic.
Nah. Zizou, nah. I feel like he's waiting.
Ooh.
I think he's waiting for that French job after this World Cup.
Mm.
Um, you think they need a guy that's kind of just a man manager or
Yeah,
uh
tactically too, but like yeah, definitely like someone that can gain respect from guys.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what the options are. Yeah, the manager market's like it's hard.
Hmm. Where do you
Um,
think Xabi Alonso goes next? Apparently he's in talks already, apparently for the summer to get
for
signed in the
Liverpool,
summer. For some team, I'm
for some team,
not
I think
sure.
it has to be Liverpool. I
You
feel like
think
that
so?
has to be the only option.
Yeah. That'd be storybook, him going back to Liverpool legend and then like coaching some Leverkusen boys too.
You know what would have been really hilarious this year? Because I saw reports early on that um, early in his tenure at Madrid, Xabi Alonso was like, "Yeah, if Wirtz keeps struggling at Liverpool and he's unhappy, like I'll gladly sign him for Real Madrid during the winter transfer window."
Oh
But it'd been
wow.
hilarious if like Wirtz got signed to Real Madrid and then Xabi Alonso left.
Yeah. That'd be wild. Speaking of Wirtz, he's kind of turned up recently. He scored an absolute banger this weekend. Goal of the
Yeah,
weekend.
I need more consistency.
He's been consistent this past month, dude.
I need more than a month from a what
Yeah,
is it,
yeah, that's
100,
fair.
140 million player?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, but yeah, another big points dropped against Burnley. Crazy. Um, yeah, Jurgen Klopp to Real Madrid, that'd be dangerous, so not gonna lie.
Hmm. Yeah, because right now he's at Leipzig, right, as the
Yeah, it's like
sporting
their
director.
hmm
Um, yeah, that's all I had. Oh, and also I think one transfer rumor that's actually becoming close is Mason Greenwood. Atletico are interested in him.
I saw the fee was outrageous.
Yeah, 100 mil.
hmm Yeah, I think that's all the transfers I had. Um, so I'll let you cover the games. I know there's Champions League coming up too, so I'll let you touch on those in the Prem in the weekend.
Uh, let's see. I'll do Champions League if you want to cover the weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
that works.
yeah, I wish I had a work off on Wednesday if MLK was born on the 21st,
Use
but
that floating holiday.
so on Tuesday, a big one is Madrid hosts Monaco. I know Monaco's been kind of struggling with their form, but that'll be a big one. And then Tottenham play Dortmund and Inter versus Arsenal is a big one. And then Wednesday we play Paphos, so um, it is the return of David Luiz back to Stamford Bridge. And then other big games are Juventus Benfica, Marseille hosts Liverpool, and Newcastle hosts PSV. Um, and kind of the table shaping up. There's two more games left. Sitting at top is Arsenal with 18 points out of a possible 18. Bayern has 15, PSG with 13, City with 13, Atalanta with 13, Inter with 12, Madrid with 12, and Atletico with 12. So those guys would be in the top six or top eight.
hmm
And then there's 16 remaining teams still in contention. I think the ones that are going to be out are Villarreal with only 1 point, and that one team from Kazakhstan only has a point.
Kyrat.
Yeah, Kairat. Now we're sitting at 13th with 10 points, so Atletico. I said they'd be a sleeper
You
team, dark
did.
horse team. Who is your dark horse?
I think it was the Galatasaray. They play this Wednesday.
Okay.
Um,
Galatasaray are at 18, so they're still down there.
I think that's the only reason Thomas Frank's still got his job is like they're in contention
Hmm.
in that Champions League spot. Um, yeah, so those are Champions League, and then Saturday for the Prem, start off the day with West Ham versus Sunderland, um, Burnley Tottenham, Fulham versus Brighton, City versus Wolves, and then at 12:30 window we have Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Around the league, we got in Spain Villarreal versus Real Madrid that day. And then if we move on to Sunday, we got a triple header in the 9 o'clock window. Brentford versus Forest, Palace versus Chelsea. Ooh, that's a big one. And then Newcastle versus Villa. Whew. I don't know which one I'm gonna be watching. Now I'll probably have the Palace one on
Pa-
the telly
Yeah,
and the Villa on the computer. And then 11:30 is Arsenal versus United.
big one.
And then around the league, um, we got Juve versus Napoli and Roma versus AC Milan.
Whew.
Fire matchups. Um, and that would wrap up that game week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for this week. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back next time to talk more footy, highlight game-changing super subs, and drop takes hotter than a derby day. If you enjoyed the chat, make sure to subscribe, drop us a rating, and share the pod with your friends and family. Until then, keep the football chatter alive, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.